Welcome to a new video, and this is a pretty spontaneous video, but nevertheless today on my MatePad Pro and my Mate 30 Pro, HarmonyOS arrived. So I want to give you a short little overview of the operating system and the user interface changes. So let's get started. So what I can tell you right now already is that HarmonyOS, the upgrade process, worked pretty much the same as any normal over-the-air update that you do on your Emotion UI from 10.1 to 11, for example. The only difference is that, you're downloading roughly 5 gigabytes of data instead of only like a few hundred megabytes or under 1 gigabyte. So it was an interesting experience, but it worked nevertheless without any issues. So the system booted up, it was still showing powered by Android. Then the upgrade process was running, it was showing HarmonyOS, and when it rebooted, it was only showing the HuawEI logo without the powered by Android. And then it was showing the new HarmonyOS boot logo, boot screen. I had the noise turned off for my tablet, so it didn't make any like startup sound or something like this. And then it booted up normally. And it asked me then with this first installation wizard if I want to use a new home launcher. I said yes. And it was also telling me, okay, if you are using this, then it will remove or it will destroy your configuration that you had previously. So it's not like taking over the configuration of where every app icon will sit from the previous installation, but every application was still there. All the Android applications I've installed are still there, and everything is running so far fine. So I want to show you right now how it looks like on the operating system itself. So let's go to the new launcher and to the new HarmonyOS on my MatePad Pro. What we see here right now is the new HarmonyOS desktop, and we see some, or home screen or launcher or however you want to call it, we see some changes. First of all, you can see here this little Celia suggestions, which is simply, as far as I understand, an option where it suggests the applications that the system, Celia, the voice assistant or assistant, thinks that I will use next. So for example, Sync is installed here, which is a Reddit client that is especially optimized for tablets and works pretty nicely here on the MatePad. You can see the animations are super fluid, and you can see even like the thumbnail is like, you can see like it's getting smaller. It's super fluid. It's more fluid than Emotion UI 11. Definitely you can feel the more smooth UI. We have some new widgets, just like for example the time widgets, as you can see here, has now the weather as well, but it's not underneath the time anymore. It can be like horizontally laid out here, tablet optimized, and you get not only the day, the today's weather, but also the forecast for the next 3 days as well. And you can tap on this to go to the weather application, and as well the weather application is now optimized for tablets. As you can see, it's showing on the left a big number of the current weather and temperature, and it shows me all the other information that I might need for the next days here on the right. So this is pretty interesting. What you also see is, like, in comparison to Emotion UI 11, they changed the font a slightly bit, and also some icons have been changed. For example, the option icon is now not a 3 dots menu but a 4 dots menu, because 4 is bigger than 3. Anyway, it's like this 4 dots in a square shape, and if I click on this, I get like the context menu where I have the option to set up things. And again, animation very fluid. All the applications that I had installed before, like KD Connect, which is an Android application, 9gag, TV program, even YouTube Vanced that I installed, still there, work fine without any issues. If I go to YouTube Vanced, you can see it is loading up a nice video here. And I can also go out of this. You can see animations work pretty nice. What you see for certain applications, mostly native applications, just like Notepad or Calendar, there are some little line underneath them, which is an indicator that there's a widget hiding for it that supports the new HarmonyOS widget library. And what it allows you to do is swipe on the icon to open up the widget. And in this case, I could pin the widget to this desktop, so it will be like this suggestion widget. Another thing that I can do is, like, if I use certain applications that I have put in the folder, like for example the video editors folder, I can long press and say enlarge, and then I get an enlarged version where I have not the names of the icons but the icons itself in a smaller view, and I can directly launch, if I want to like launch quick, I can directly launch it from there, which is pretty nice. Of course I can also say shrink it again, and then I have the option, of course, to go and put it back here. So these are the optimizations in terms of widgets. You can, of course, it kind of reminds me a little bit of iOS, I have to say, those widgets that can be here in a square, and a little bit of BlackBerry as well, that had also swipe up features for certain to show certain widgets. But this is more fluid and seems more integrated in the operating system as well. When it comes to Android applications, like I said, Android applications run without any problems. 9gag, for example, can run here without any issues. Okay, it is now not in portrait mode, it's going into portrait mode instead of landscape mode, but all the applications work fine. Animations work fine and fluid without any big issues, and I did not notice any applications not working. I even heard people that had Google services installed still can use the Google services on their device, because what it does is not replacing the AOSP or the Android part of your system. It is only adding the harmonyos part. So the Android part of your system is untouched, and all the APK files that you want to install via paddle search or something like this. Where do I have my app stores? I have Aurora Store here, for example, to access Google Play Store, run without any issues. I can install applications here from the Google Play Store, for example, no issue at all if I want to. And I can even update APK files without any issue. It takes a while to load them. And if I want to update 9gag here, hopefully this is a bit quick, it will download then. And it's an APK file, of course. It will allow you to install the APK file, as well as HAP files, which are the new file format, which is the new file format for harmonyos, or it's one part of the new file format of harmonyos that ultimately will end up in the .app file, I think. The same file system that Apple uses. To go in here, I think it tries to download again. It's like a stupid bug in Aurora Store currently, that in the previous window the update function is not working like I want, but here it will work, and it will prompt you for installing. As you can see, it is the same, probably the same thing that you have here as in the normal EmotionUI 11. AppGuard enabled. To ensure your security, recommend you to install apps from App Gallery when possible. If you still want to install this app, you can disable AppGuard in Settings, System Updates, and AppGuard. So this is a new thing, which is like an application guard, which only allows you to install applications that are safe or come from the store. And yeah, this is maybe the only big change that I noticed so far. You can disable it and then it works like it should work before. The other thing that you will see is, if I swipe to the left, that you get the same Today page, HuawEI Today, I think it's called, page that you had before. You get like the option to go to your profile. You see the moments, like it's raining currently, events, all the other things you can see here, news and the stock market, for example, or sports events, and some news going on here as well. So this is basically the same that you saw or see already on EmotionUI 11. This didn't change. What changed is the multitasking overview, which looks like this right now, which makes absolutely more sense for a tablet, because you're using just simply more space that you have here on your tablet, especially the bigger tablets like the new MatePad Pro, which is like 12-inch big in size. And what I noticed is I have much more applications open and running at the same time, as you can see here. So it doesn't close applications so quickly as it did before under HuawEI 11. And you can see here all the applications stay longer in memory, which is also a pretty nice side effect of this. What we can also see is like on some applications, not all of the applications, they have a new logo on the top right corner, and this is just an option to, like, if I go in here and I'm in, for example, the tips app, if I click on this, it will open up in a smaller window, which is pretty good for multitasking, because of course I have the option to resize the window if I like to. This is a feature that we had already in HuawEI 11, but here I think it is more refined, and I can minimize it, have it here running, can open up my files application, can run this and open this up. I can go in here in my files and just drag and drop a file to here if I want to, and it would, if it's a browser or other application that allows to use this, could work as well. And of course I have the option to drag it around and also put it sideways here, and now I have like two applications running at the same time. I still have the option to open up here some other applications, and as you can see here, it is also showing me running applications like the tips application that I have running here. And if I want to have like a calculator, I can click on this and I have calculator here as well. I can minimize it, and yeah, this is working pretty nicely. Also, of course, as it is a tablet with a keyboard that I have attached, if I go into one application, I want to switch to the other application, I can use Alt Tab. It has this nice, can I use Alt Tab? Has this nice animation where it goes in from one application to another, which is pretty nice. And if I press and hold Alt Tab, I can go to the navigation switcher here if I press Alt and let go of Tab, which is also pretty nice, as you can see here. So this is also possible with the new harmonyOS. And like I said, many under the hood changes have been made, but also some changes that I can show you right now, like for example the new control center. If I swipe from the top right corner down, I get all my new control panel. Looks a lot like iOS, I would say. So I have like a panel here for playing application. That means everything that plays stuff and is connected to this, like the music player or HuawEI Video, will appear here. I have my Wi-Fi here. I can, without going to my settings, I can just press here on the side and then connect to my other Wi-Fis if I want to. The same goes for my Bluetooth devices. I can connect to other Bluetooth devices if I want to. I have my quick toggles here. I have the brightness control. I can swipe down to see more quick options that I have here. I can of course still edit this by going in here, say edit switches or hide super devices or edit devices, because I have of course also here, here the super devices, so I can touch and search for nearby devices. I have my Mate 30 Pro. I think this is not working yet. My Mate 30 Pro has support for my Mate 30 Pro shows my MatePad Pro now, but I don't see my Mate 30 Pro here in the super devices. But what I can do is maybe, let's do this here, and I connect my Mate 30 Pro now here, and you can see in the multi-collaboration my Mate 30 Pro also running harmonyOS. And if I swipe down from here, you can see here I have my super device HuawEI MatePad Pro, and if I can tap on this, it it will go away now, because it doesn't make any sense to have it like this. But I could do here again, press on connecting to HuawEI MatePad Pro, and what it does is starting the multi-collaboration window here in this case, because it does make sense, of course. I can go here in here options and can do the same as HuawEI did in their presentation. I can also say, okay, I want to detach it, and then it's like detached completely, and I can also attach it again here on my Mate 30 Pro, and then it is attaching again. So this is working fine. What I didn't try out yet is what happens if I go to my camera application, and if I go to switch cameras, oh, you can see me, but the multi-camera feature I think is not working yet. At least maybe this will come with an update later on. But this is working fine, as you can see here, multi-calibration window, and this is how you can use the control panel to connect to super devices, what Huawei showed. I'm not sure why I cannot connect my tablet to my phone, probably because there's no functionality yet for this kind of scenario, but the other way around, connecting the phone to the tablet is working. It would be nice if I could do this here from my tablet as well, if I want to connect my phone, but yeah, this is an option. Otherwise, if I want notifications on my left, I have, of course, notifications. Here you can see a screen recording right now. I have do not disturb mode on. I have Carry Connect running in the background, so Android applications run without any issues. I have system notifications that's telling me that the screen recording is now accessing my microphone. I can view the app info. I have the Aurora store, downloading stuff, downloaded here, and failed downloading the Adobe something, and some new comment of in Reddit in the Sync client, which is the Reddit client. Then my microphone that I have attached via USB Type-C dongle, which is not a Huawei one, and some email that arrived here. So these are the options that I can show you right now. There's a lot more underneath the hood of HarmonyOS, like the super devices, like collaboration feature that is already built under the hood, but all the devices need to be updated to see a little bit more here and there. What has been done is like some optimization for the tablet, especially because the new MatePad comes out. So if I go to Huawei store, for example, you can see that the tabs are now aligned on the left side here, not down at the bottom, and some other applications use the same kind of layout for the tablet. So you have the various different tabs you can switch to. You have them here now on the left instead of at the bottom, like on a smartphone. Anyway, Android applications are running, as I showed you already, so no issues at all. Even Play Store would run on applications that have like Play Store installed or GSM installed, because Huawei with HarmonyOS is shipping their own AOSP or Android compatibility layer, which is basically AOSP, lots of AOSP parts still, but has also under the hood their own HarmonyOS stuff. You can in China already, there are some apps, I think 5 or 10-ish like apps officially released as HAP files that are exclusive services, because HarmonyOS of course launched in China first, which are native applications to HarmonyOS that don't use so much Android code. But currently it looks like that even those are running through the Android runtime, through the AOSP part of HarmonyOS in here. But this is all speculation on my side so far, or like things that I put together from documentations and reviewers and people who tested this out. So you can run HAP files on HarmonyOS, so it is working somehow, but it's running through the ART Android compiler currently, and not the HarmonyOS own compiler, as far as I can tell. When it comes to search, the AI search is still there, as you can see here. You can still search here. It has new icon to go to settings and so on. We can configure this, and this is, I think, also a new tablet UI element. And when I go into settings, you can see that the settings changed a little bit, the design changed, the font has changed. You can see now it's showing HarmonyOS here. It's showing that it's running on the MatePad Pro, and it's version 2.0.0.115 of HarmonyOS with GPU Turbo. And this all is running currently, the whole UI is running in an optimized way, but it's running on this AOSP Android layer. This is why HarmonyOS, or this is why some say HarmonyOS is just a clone or fork of Android. In this case, yeah, it is running on a fork of Android, but we have also HMS Core here, where we have various different options to set up. Like the COVID-19 contact shield. We don't have supported apps for this right now. We have the option to set up ads, like disable personalized ads. I don't want personalized ads, so I can disable this here. I can auto update HMS Core. I have system update here, and here I have the same options that I had previously. I can set up users and accounts. All my accounts are still here, work fine. You can see Advanced MicroG is working, so YouTube Advanced, for example, is working fine. My Telegram account is working. MeTime is added and integrated into the system nicely. So all my accounts are working. I didn't see so many new features here, I have to say. Keep in mind this is a Chinese version, so Huawei Assistant, for example, AI voice is, if I go in here, the voice wake up, you can see say some Chinese word because it's using the Chinese AI voice instead of Hey Celia. Then we have some privacy features. We have a privacy space, everything that we had on HuawEI 11 as well. So new animations here for storage, for example. So they cleaned this up a little bit. You can see that we have this rounded corners and white background on a gray. And if I go, can I go to the dark mode? Do I have the dark mode in here? Dark mode, you can also see how it will look like in dark mode. You can see also this grayish on black background. I think it's pretty nice. It looks pretty nice in dark mode and in the daylight mode. And yeah, pretty nicely done by Huawei. Have this nice little animation. And where was I? I wanted to go to battery. Battery still looks like this. Nothing much changed here, I think. And yeah, what do we have? Something else that is new. I don't think there's something new. The loading animation you saw is, I think, new. I think there were some applications already using this new loading animation also on HuawEI 11. I think the app gallery used this already. We have new sliders here. You can see for notification the sliders here, or in general the sliders look a bit different when I looked before. Here you can see also for the brightness one. The text style, the new font is available, themes, and we have harmonyos style right now with the aquamarine. We can also change to all the other styles that were there before, and we have some featured themes as well. In the theme category you can see the new style and design. We have a new font that looks a lot clearer, I think, especially on the tablet. I noticed that on the phone, I have to say, maybe I did not use the phone enough to tell you this, but it is a lot clearer to read and looks a bit sharper, the text actually, for some reason. Then the thing that we have new is the super device option, where I can see, like, I have two Huawei harmonyos devices, like the Mate 30 Pro is also here, and I have already the Mate Pad Pro running here. I have more settings like suggest devices, multi-device file support. So you can see it is a little bit limited in this early version that I have here running. Everything else looks the same, behaves the same as before, but it's more fluid. And this is what is my first impression. It's a lot more fluid when opening apps. The apps in general, I think the I/O support of copying files and folders is a bit quicker, noticeably quicker than on HuawEI 11. When it comes to loading times of applications, I didn't notice so much, especially games or something. I think it is still using full potential of the Kirin processor, in my case the Kirin 990 processor, without much issue. Loading times of web pages or internet stuff, like loading times of wallpapers here, for example. When I load some wallpapers here, you can see, yeah, it's working fine. Animations work fine without any issues and stutter. What I had sometimes in HuawEI 11 are lags when going to multi-view or something like this. Here I don't have this, so they have optimized the rendering engine here, definitely. So overall, I'm impressed by the new HarmonyOS because of the speed that changed. So it feels like I have a new tablet, really, to be honest, because the speed is definitely changed. And I/O, as soon as you do I/O, like when I cut this video, for example, and I do this in KineMaster or Power Director, and I'm rendering this out, I notice the speed difference in terms of rendering time. It is, I don't have a comparison video, but or project that I can do, but yeah, this is what I noticed. And as well, you can see here the folders that don't have like the outline that in the old HuawEI 11 that you had, which is just full screen folder. Maybe you can make it like, yeah, use the space a little bit more, not like this only, but maybe the whole when they do a full screen anyway for this. Anyway, this is my first impressions and hands-on with HarmonyOS on my MatePad Pro. If you have some questions, something that I have to test out, try out definitely, then I can inform you. What do I have here? What we can do, I can show you just to prove my point. You can install Android applications. Here we go, we have maps. But what I can do is I can go to the not social media, but to the app stores. I can go to the HuawEI store. Maybe I have to go to settings first and disable the app guard. App guard disable, and I have to enter the super secret pin that I have. Now app guard is not interfering with me, and I go to HuawEI store, search for apps, and we search for the Google Maps app and just install it, because we know that this one is working fine on EmotionUI 11, and it should work fine on HarmonyOS as well. So let's download it. It takes a while. Not the fastest internet. I could switch to another internet if I want a faster internet, but this one is, I think, working nicely. So some people are asking, are those applications working that rely on Android, or how about Google applications? We don't have Google mobile services on my device in particular, but if you have them, they should work the same as before. And threat detected, find similar apps, blah blah blah, install anyway, and it will install it. And yeah, installing. Now we can click here, open, and you can see here sign in will not work. The add account option is coming from, I think, the microG services. So in general, if you have microG installed, it would like try to do stuff, but it's not working. But this, as you can see, is working nicely. And I can go to Cologne here, Cologne, Germany, and you can see Cologne Cathedral here, and it's working nicely without any issues. Everything here, church, for example, this church, I can take a look at the pictures here, taken probably with a smartphone, and you can see this is working without any issues. So I can install Google Apps, it's working fine here, and I can also drag this icon. I have all the possibilities here. You can see share, work, or home navigation stuff as working directly, and I can drag this here into my maps. And yeah, it's working fine, as you can see. So no issues on that front. So this is now really everything for this little overview video of HarmonyOS, first impressions of HarmonyOS so far. If you have some questions, write them down in the comment section. Stuff I should try out on HarmonyOS 2.0. And yeah, that's everything for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. You can leave a like, you can subscribe, and share videos, of course, and tell others to subscribe as well. And that's everything for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Until the next time. Bye.